So let's look at the lineup now for the Ladd Gardner Insurance Backcountry class. Up in front at the line right now, Michael Lindstrom, 1955 Cessna 170 Bravo. Behind him in 00, Jeff Pohl, 1955 Cessna 170 Bravo. Guess what? After him, it's Shawn Johnson, and you guessed it, a 1955 Cessna 170 Bravo model.
I'm sensing a trend.
There is a little bit of a trend. And then for this first heat, we've got 2 heats for the backcountry class. Matt Peterson in the 1957 Cessna 172.
Guys, this is the moment you've been waiting for as backcountry class comes in. It's going to be wild. Michael Lindstrom taking the line now. He is known for his aggression, and he is not known for his love for taking care of that airplane. Those landings can be wild. Ryan, who do you take for this round?
Well, I don't know, because Jeff Pohl's right behind him, and Jeff Pohl's been a little frustrated that Micah keeps besting him.
I will say this. I think that Jeff is at the point right now where the full aggression, every ounce of anger in that 5'6" body of his is going to be. I'm just kidding. He's much taller than that. But we're excited.
He's at least 5'7". Here's Micah now. Giving it the beans. Tail's way up there.
Inches of prop clearances. That's all he's got. 150.
A little late for Micah on that one. He pulled a little early, pulled a little early. But we've got a bunch of rounds to dial it in for him.
We do indeed, and just now we're starting to feel a gust come through. It was very calm winds there. If Jeff Pohl is able to capitalize on this gust, this will be a huge difference between the scores. That Hartzell propeller diving toward the ground, a little less aggression. Wait for the rotation. There it is.
Oh, dropping the gauntlet between the two. Not to be undone. Shawn Johnson rolling up to the line. He was the only one of this trio of 170 Bravos that showed up to practice yesterday.
He was indeed, and he is a force to be reckoned with, but not as much as the folks from Gallatin who are telling me I'm saying it wrong all over the internet. Apologies. Shawn on the roll.
Whoa! Okay. All right. Things are heating up here in Music City in the backcountry class. Guess who is low and to your left, folks? It's Micah. I think he landed at like 10 p.m. last night. He's coming in just to drop the gauntlet all over Jeff. Let's see what he does on this first run.
Look at that incredible amount of energy into the gear. You notice he drops up almost directly vertical down, transferring the energy into the ground instead of into that landing roll just past 125 feet. Really exceptional.
After I read this number, 290 feet combined. That's the shortest today, and we're going to see shorter. I didn't actually hear it, though. 290 feet combined.
Oh, my God.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, Jeff Pohl coming in now, hovering in to your left in 00. He actually bested Micah's takeoff number by 9 feet.
He's very high, very aggressive. It's a good landing. Keep it on its gear. Don't go over. Woo! Guys, we're seeing the weather really play in heavily here. Keep an eye on those flags. We can see that the flags are moving right now, and in a moment they might stop. That little bit of gust might have been the difference between Micah's 125-foot landing and Jeff's 150-plus.
Currently separated by 24 feet between the two of them. But guess what? Shawn Johnson, who's up next, had the shortest takeoff of this first round with 142 feet.
Shawn is one to look out for. He's brought his entire family here, and I know he does not want to let them down. Absolutely incredible competitor. He's an airline pilot by day, STOL pilot in the Stormtrooper 170 with some beautiful new graphics on the tail. Different type of drive here. He's bringing it a lot more like Micah. Not quite as much altitude as we saw with Jeff. Gets it across the line.
Oh.
Ooh, our line judge is not calling it.
What do you think in the crowd? Because Lexi's saying, I need a review. Thumbs up. Who's going to say thumbs up? That was good.
Oh, I see a bunch of thumbs out by the line. Hawaiian shirt. I see you.
Look at that. I think it was good on the replay there.
The replay shows it just across the line. And the race control is calling it. It is good. Shawn Johnson putting out some serious numbers.
Here we go. Micah, who's taking off right now in first place with 290. He's going to mow the lawn.
Hyper aggressive.
Grab that bite.
Sub 150.
Then this is your current third place contender, Jeff Pohl, combined score of 314. This class is getting tight.
I'm watching as Jeff Pohl's girlfriend is radioing him numbers, letting him know how close it is, enticing him perhaps to do just that.
Okay, so that takeoff from Micah was tied for the best of the heat with 142. Let's see what Jeff pops up on the score. 141, bested him by a foot. Shawn Johnson now cheating to the right side, also mowing the lawn. Take over, aggressive. They're pointing there. I would have pointed much sooner. I would point sub 125.
I would say about 123 is what it looked like from my angle, but again, they have the eyes on the prize right there. Let's get back to the feud of the 170s. Micah, slow, low, aggressive approach. Watch that tail slide down in just a moment. Power will be chopped. Get it across the line. Highly aggressive.
Got that yoke full back, holding it off. Look at that.
Best landing by far. Micah catching that wind at just the right moment. There is an element of luck here and there, but the skills exercised there were clear. We've got line judges jumping up and down with excitement. And I have to admit, I left my seat to watch that one. I'm getting too excited as well. Again, every one of these pilots is trying to do the same thing. They have the same goal, but they have different styles. The way that each of these pilots fly is very different. Watching that left wing start to drop a touch of power, gets it on the line. It looks like a scratch from Lexi, but that is an incredibly short landing.
It's under review. Let's watch the replay.
Oh,
that's definitely a scratch. You can see the dust kick up before the line there. Lexi was 100% correct. Sorry I ever doubted you, Lexi. She's like, I got you, bud. That would have been a 94-foot landing for Jeff Pohl had he not been about a foot, not even 6 inches too short. Here comes Shawn Johnson now, again, from Stamping Ground, Kentucky, in that 1955 170, holding it off. Little burst of throttle over the line. It's good.
Hyper aggressive, keeping that prop just out of the dirt.
Man, look at that.
Shawn Johnson may be here to disrupt this points battle. It's going to be a really tight race right now. This is going to be wild to see. Micah now on the power. That beautiful MT propeller ripping him forward. Hyper aggressive and just over 125, 130 feet there.
Jeff Pohl now, and look, Eric, we see this all the time. When we get any ounce of crosswind, people cheat hard into it to try to get as much of it on the nose. Jeff Pohl is doing that right now. He's got to be fired up. That scratch on the last round's got to be eating him up a little bit. Heavy on the throttle, tail's way high.
Huge rotation.
Nice.
You know, I've never seen Jeff Pohl pull anything out of his airplane. He leaves the full interior. He leaves the tools. He leaves the tie-downs. He leaves the dog and sometimes the girlfriend. It doesn't usually matter to him, but as this season is heated up, I've seen more and more and more things come out of the airplane. Today, there's not even carpet in the back seats. That guy is really in it to win it, but Shawn Johnson is too. Hyper aggressive, pulls early, and he sticks.
That's going to be good for Jeff and Micah in this heat because they do not want Shawn Johnson to extend his lead in front of them. And just race control you saw there with a little note that the deck angle on Shawn Johnson's takeoff was a little too aggressive for their taste. It's just a note. No disciplinary action just yet. There's Micah right over the line, getting that tail super high.
Holy cow.
Oh, Micah.
An absolute art form of balance right there. You can tell he's a heavy equipment operator. He is just fine. Put it on a teeter-totter and seeing what happens.
That was a 124-foot landing with a 132-foot takeoff, but still not his best. Run 2 is his best with 254. Jeff Pohl now coming in. By the way, Micah and Jeff are from the same airport. They're from the same town.
They are indeed.
I wonder how that works out on the flight home.
They take turns saying who taught who how to fly, which is always entertaining.
Jeff Pohl now coming in. Again, cheating into that crosswind. The wind's basically nil again. Not great for Jeff. Right on the line.
Super heavy on the brakes. Again, we just see that pendulum effect. Gets the tail down.
Lexi's saying, I need you to review it. She didn't call it.
Absolutely as close as it gets. It looks like it might be before the line. We'll wait to hear from race control. They're calling it a scratch.
Oh, heartbreak for Jeff Pohl with a second scratch.
Oh, couldn't be closer, guys.
That literally maybe an inch of a scratch. By the way, I heard those boos, and I just want to make sure that you know that Eric and I don't make those calls.
We don't.
We just report them to you, so when you're mad later, it's not us, okay?
Don't hesitate to throw tomatoes at Ryan, though. He's into that. All right, Shawn now on that close approach once again, really slowing it up. Touch of power across the line.
And you can see, Eric, I think, now, and it's making a difference. It's making like a 10-foot difference on these landing distances.
Which is remarkable when you think about that's only a few knots of wind. It really does make a huge, huge difference. But it looks like the wind is picking out. I'm looking out of that U.S.
I think we're headed into round 4, which if I'm Jeff Pohl, I'm like, whoo, I'm glad we had time for 4 today because I've got one more run. He only has 1 on the board. And normally what you want to do strategically is you want to have the safe one in your first run and then get more aggressive. Well, guess what? That's working out for Jeff because he has the safe one on the board, but now he's like, I gotta improve it.
All right. Power is on. Micah looking to defend the title. Currently in second place, only 10 feet behind Shawn Johnson. Micah pulling off. I don't know what she's saying, but I saw Jeff Pohl's girlfriend looking at me like I'm crazy. Something went wrong. I don't know. Jeff Pohl now, Hartzell propeller.
Here we go, Jeff. I'm rooting for you. Get that thing a little early.
I love this, guys. Dan Reynolds, the Valdez champion, many times over, national STOL champion. He is an incredible pilot from all the way up north in the White Country, and he says that we are watching the best of the best, and I completely agree. These are some of the best STOL pilots in the country, if not the world. Shawn Johnson currently in the lead on the roll. Woo! That timing was impeccable. These guys are battling it out for our top 3, and Shawn Johnson taking the trophy might mean the difference in points lead between Micah and Jeff. We'll have to go to the booth to find out, but Micah now just across the line, hyper aggressive again. Look at the big bounce in the tires. Getting it stopped around 148 feet. I love how he'll sit there and let the tail just fly. Wait for him to get his measurement.
Yeah,
saunter
a little
off.
bit of a showman. Jeff Pohl with those flaps dropped, trying to grab any little bit of that crosswind as he comes in, straightening it out. Gave up a few feet over the line. Probably doesn't want to scratch again.
Again, just playing with that tail in the air. Nice control. You came in a bit higher, tried to transfer more of the energy into the landing gear, not into that forward momentum. The wind has died, ladies and gentlemen. If you start to look, these flags are turning all different directions. That tells us we're in a thermal.
Scratch for Shawn.
Deeply disappointing. I know that his sons, Archer and Cooper, are out in the audience right now, and they're going to be bummed for Dad.
Still holding the lead, though, with 2:44 as we ramp things up here in the backcountry class. Guess who's back from yesterday? It's Chad Hall.
Oh, man. What a beautiful day here in Gallatin. To watch some airplanes. Ryan, the broadcast is awesome.
Oh, well, now it's even awesomer now that you're here.
Yeah, I've been sitting back watching and see a lot of happy faces out here. So just so grateful for all the support that we've had to get National STOL here in our beautiful city of Gallatin. And, man, it's just does it get much better than this?
So let's look at it again. So the gauntlet has been dropped. We have 244 for Shawn Johnson. Both Micah and Jeff are going to be a little frustrated with that one if it sticks. Michael Lindstrom, second place with 254. Jeff Pohl, 314. And the Colonel currently in fourth place with 605. It's going to be interesting to see if Matt Peterson can hold the line at fourth place there as we head into the next heat. He's got some aircraft here, Chad, that are, we've got a 172, very similar to his. We've got an Aviat Husky. We've got a Decathlon and a 140. Let's actually kick it over to Reese Dockhand, who Micah's literally just shutting down the engine. Reese, are you going to ambush him as he gets out there?
Now here's Michael Lindstrom in the paddock, coming out the plane.
Wow.
It's hot out there, and you were talking about giving Jeff Pohl the second place, but you took the second place. There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, I guess the old man upstairs had different plans for me. He didn't get no headwind, which is unfortunate, but still got second place. And more importantly, Jeff Pohl got third place, which is, deep down inside, I'm proud of him.
He's doing his best, absolutely. You're still the points champion, leader into it. For the competition, you got one more going into it. It's really going to come down to the very end.
Yeah, it's going to be really close, a lot closer than I was hoping for.
One thing that you got going on, you got tuned exhaust, you got a big propeller up front. What are some other modifications that you got going on in this aircraft that's taking it to the next level?
I got the Sportsman STOL kit and Vortex generators and 31-inch Alaskan bush wheels. I got a Surefly mag. So it's set up pretty nice.
Yes, it's a beautiful airplane. One of our cameraman's favorite airplanes are the 170B's. And just look right over here. You got Jeff Pohl. We're going to walk over there and go give him a shout. Great job, Micah. Yeah. Dirty Birds in the house. The dirtiest of birds. His wife. He's not running away, so this is a good thing. Last time I had to chase him around the paddock. You took all the fuel, you took all the weight. It's still just not enough. I know. What's going on, man?
I scratched by 6 inches. Otherwise, I think I might have had it. But 6 inches is 6 inches.
That's all it takes sometimes for not counting. And, my heart goes out to you. I know you're putting everything on the line out there, and you're making all the competition. You're making every effort to get on top, but it's just one left. Well, Lone Star.
I guess I'll go there and I'll try to get first, second, or third.
Well, it's very nice that you actually are still competing and just not giving up, right? That's not what it's all about.
Well, I've held the national title for the last couple of years. If I have to pass the torch, I guess so be it.
Oh, man, it's tough to say. I know it's just hard to say those words, but thank you, everyone, for watching live. These are some of the most competitive pilots in the paddock, and we're going to see.
And we also cry. We cry.
Grown men do cry. Back to you, Eric and Ryan.
STOL is one of those things that's super, or I shouldn't say super accessible, more accessible than you might think. We're going to see aircraft later today that could be acquired for about the same price as a nice car. And, I think it's about what you prioritize and what you want to do. And we talked yesterday in practice that there are airplanes you can acquire, maybe not STOL competitive. I saw a plane on barnstormers.com. Not a sponsor, that you for $10,000. That's less than my neighbor's Harley. Let's hop over to Reese, because guess who he's with? He's with Shawn Johnson. Reese, can you read me?
Shawn Johnson, the family man, the family community. Congratulations, you took the first place.
No.
Yes.
You're joking.
100%. Micah and Jeff Pohl are still crying about it.
You gotta be kidding me.
Man, this thing is, what have you done to take the win? I mean, you were coming in so slow.
I mean, it's got an older STOL kit. I did just refreshing up the motor from Jennings. I found out I had 3 cracked cylinders, so the motor's fresh. That's great. Got the MT McFarlane propeller on there, which is amazing. And honestly, I thought I was an underdog here. There's no way I could do it, but you got to be kidding me. This is unbelievable.
The family's here. The kids are in the crowd. Right. It can't feel any better, right?
Oh, I am on top of the world. This is unfreaking believable.
Brand new paint scheme on this 170B. You'll see a lot more of him. Shawn Johnson, the new sheriff in town. Congratulations.
Well, I want to thank McFarland Aviation, MT Propellers, Legion Airlines, and Flight Outfitters. Not sponsors yet.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. That yet. Congratulations.